score. Josie Knutson is good. Nice penetration, Luke Dingman into Andrew Weller.
It's there.
Yeah, here we go.
Welcome to BBE for tonight's Central Minnesota Conference matchup between the visiting Eden Valley Watkins Eagles and your BBE Jaguars. Tonight's contest will be played under the rules of the Minnesota State High School League. We thank the officials for their part in tonight's game and ask that all fans cheer for their team and not against their opponent. We also ask that parents supervise their children. Please stand and honor our country and those that fought to preserve our freedom as we play our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this broadcast of the Central Minnesota Conference boys basketball matchup between the visiting Eden Valley Watkins Eagles and the Belgrade Burton-El Rosa Jaguars. First, let's meet the Eden Valley Watkins Eagles. Starting at guard, senior number 1, Alex Haig. Starting at guard, sophomore number 2, Landon Neiman. Starting at guard, sophomore number 3, Nolan Geislinger. Starting at forward for the Eagles, junior number 5, Miles DeZingle. And rounding out the starting lineup is sophomore center number 23, Noah Stones. The Eden Valley Watkins Eagles comes into this matchup with a overall record of 12-9 with a 7-3 mark in the Central Minnesota Conference Last game that they had, they played at home and hosted the Paynesville Bulldogs and lost in overtime 80-79. So we'll see. They're going to be looking to get back on track, as are the Jaguars looking to stay in the lead of the Central Minnesota Conference. Their starting lineup goes like this. Junior guard number 1, Caden Piper. Guard number 3, senior Will Van Beck. Senior guard number 11, Gannon Walsh. Senior forward number 13, Ashton Dingman. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Jaguars is sophomore guard number 21, Luke Dingman. The Jaguars come into the record with a record of 17-3 overall with an 8-1 mark in the conference. Their one loss did come to the hands of Eden Valley back on December 16th at Eden Valley. The Jaguars lost that game by the score of 60-54. Jaguars did have a conference game on Friday night where they played host to Maple Lake and beat them 78-21. So we will see the matchup here tonight as we have a little goof up there on the tip. Luke Dingman wanted a head start here. And the head start wore his battery out as Stones gets the tip as the Eagles will control the ball. Neiman swings it over Geislinger to the hoop. High off the glass, couldn't get it to go. Tipped around, Ashton Dingman with the board, and here come the Jaguars. They like to push. Luke Dingman up to Piper. and he puts that in. Caden Piper gets on the board for the Jaguars right away, and here come the Eagles. Neiman going baseline, looking somewhere, tiptoed on the sideline, stayed in bounds, and they'll reset the offense here. Deanna Walsh guarding up top. Neiman's got it, back over to Hag. DeZingle looking down low, trying to get the Stones. Ashton Digman working on him, works away around, still gets it, puts it up and in. Stones is a sophomore, listed at 6'8". Jaguars are going to have their hands full guarding him down low. Luke Dingman gets a drive, but poked away nicely by the Eagles, and here they come on the offensive end with the opportunity to take their first lead of the night. Trying to get it down low. You can tell that's what they're going to do. Dingman loses his positioning there, and Stones puts it up and in. He looks like a very calm player when he's got the ball down in the post, and Jaguars really going to have to figure out a way to do that the best and go at him. Again, Walsh got it now. Man-to-man defense here with a lot of help side from the Eagles. The Jaguars like to get to the hoop. They really got to spread the floor here and take your cuts as smart as you can. Will Van Beck's got it for the Jaguars. Got his pass tipped there by Neiman. Luke Dingman corrals it up top, and Caden Piper will set up. Spin move there at the free throw line. Nothing doing on that. Ashton Dingman couldn't get that to go. Ganna Walsh is there, and Will Van Beck gets the pass from Walsh, and he'll draw the contact and go to the line to shoot two. That foul is going to go on Landon Neiman, the sophomore guard for the Eagles. And Will Van Beck goes to the line. Van Beck puts that one down. And 2 for 2 is Van Beck at the line. Eagles break that press nicely. As the Jaguars fall in a 2-3 zone. Found an open guy, but DeZingle couldn't handle that pass there, and it's going to be a turnover, and the Jaguars will corral and keep possession on their end. Caden Piper just inside the three-point line, doesn't get that one. Neiman's got it, working on Van Beck, and Piper stop him, pulls out, puts it in, and that's going to be a travel there as the gather step, and one more step is too much there, and another turnover. So a little full court press, trying to deny the ball, it looks like, of Caden Piper and Ashton Dingman getting a little full court press treatment, but Will Van Beck does a good job for the Jaguars, holding the ball down for the run of the point. So we'll see if Will just takes that from now on. Luke Dingman couldn't get that to go on the drive. Caden Piper out to Will Van Beck, over to Luke Dingman for three. That one bounces around, couldn't get it to go. Tipped up nicely by Caden Piper, fighting for the offensive board. Found the hands of Will Van Beck, and he puts it in. He's got 4. That'll be big. Teams really don't expect Will Van Beck to score too much. He's more of a defensive presence that cogs the offensive game of the opponents, but if he can get going offensively and forces them to guard him, that's going to open up another guy, and he can do what he likes doing and passing the ball around. As again, the Eagles come up empty. Now Ganna Walsh in the corner for 3. That one's long. Neiman with the board. And here the Eagles come in the corner. Hag for 3, no good. Stomes got it. The pass was tipped, tried to get over there, and that's going to go. Defense was nicely there. Caden Piper kind of tipped it before Neiman could swing that pass over, so it's going to be out of bounds off the Eagles. Piper with Geislinger riding him on the way down the court. Ashton Dingman, little free throw jumper there. That's good. He loves that spot. Him and Luke both love that spot, and if you're going to give them that space, they're going to cash in almost every time there. They're automatic from there. Stones has got it out top. Steps in, thought about a shot, kicks it back out. Neiman. Geislinger's got it down to DeZingle again. Mishandles that, just kind of moving too fast without the ball. And the Jaguars come. Caden Piper makes his way into the lane with a nice step through, and he puts that in. He's got 4. Luke Dingman tried to get a steal there. DeZingle gets it up to Stomes. Now Neiman's got it. Walsh goes for the steal. Now Geislinger all the way through, battling for the board. Geislinger gets it back and lays it off the glass nicely. His first bucket of the night brings the Eagles back within 4 here. Luke Dingman driving on Stomes, pulls up there a little bit early, and on the offense, or on the defensive foul, it's going to get a foul there. As we're going to see our first subs of the night for both teams. Gavin Campson checking in for Luke Dingman. And we've got Caden Neiman, a junior, along with number 21, Parker Schultz, a sophomore. So the Eagles, fairly young team. Only 2 seniors on the entire roster that I can see. So a lot of youth for this Eagles team after the powerhouses that they have seen. They're in a tough section, in that section 6 AA. They've got some tough teams there always. Stomes now goes in, kicks it out. Geislinger. That little floater no good. Stomes again just flying in, and now they're going to get a foul on the backside. Ashton Dingman just trying to stop that a little bit, and he'll go to the line. Stomes has got 6 with a chance to add 1 more. And leaves that one way short, and that didn't touch the rim, so that's going to be a automatic violation there, and Jaguars will take the ball. The fast break game for the Jaguars is their bread and butter for sure. We'll see how they can go in this offensive zone here. They're not doing too much. Asher Dingman for 3. That one's off. Flying in for the rebound was Wyatt Murley. Also checked into the game for the Eagles. He's a freshman for this Eagles team. Stomes just pounding down low, and Asher Dingman couldn't do any more. He didn't want to pick up another foul, and it's still good defense, but just too big as Stomes, and he's got 8. Wilvan back over to Gannon Walsh. Caden Piper makes a move there, puts it up and in. Neiman working against the zone here, gets it stolen by Campson. Will Van Beck goes up, and puts the bucket in, draws a little bit of contact, no call, got some ball too, good no call there, and Will Van Beck's got 6 of his own. Geislinger gets it down, Stomes, working, turn around. There's Caden Piper grabbing that, going coast to coast, shoves the guy off, and that's going to be an offensive foul, even though with no contact. The ref only saw the back side of that. He didn't make much contact at all, but just an unnecessary move there from Caden Piper. Had the layup, and that's the junior. Just got to know how he works, and yep, that bucket gets taken away. So unfortunately, he didn't make much contact, but it was just unnecessary contact that he made. So it's going to be a foul, and that's going to be his first and the team's third, with Luke and Ashton Dingman holding one of their own. Tanner Shelton checking in for the Jaguars. A junior checks in for Ashton Dingman. Luke Dingman back in as Gannon Walsh gets his first break. Will Van back on the baseline. Little floater gets tipped, and Stone's got the board, and here comes Neiman. Jaguars now back in that 2-3 zone, causing a lot of turnovers here, but just got to do a better job of denying that ball down low, unless you can hit shots like that. Caden Neiman, that was a deep ball. Junior's first 3 of the night. Brings the lead back within 1. Will Van Beck step back there, hesitation. He goes in, and he'll go to the, it's going to be on the ground there, so that's going to go on number 1. That's Alex Haig. That'll be his first foul. Team's second. As Tyler Stanwyck checks in for Stomes, who gets his first break of this evening. Ashton Dingman checks in for Caden Piper. Luke Dingman up top, blows by his defender, finishes with the left hand nicely. Parker Schultz tried to stay up and crowd Luke Dingman there a little bit, but just got blown by there. Good move from Luke Dingman. And that good defense from the Jags forces up a wild shot there from Neiman. Lucky to keep that one in possession of their own team. He says, my bad, but pretty athletic play to get a pass off that finds the hands of the teammate while floating in the air like that. Gannon Walsh back in for Tanner Shelton. A lot of talking in this zone is needed, and against these passes, there's a 3. That one's short, and that's put in there by Stanwyck. That's his first bucket. That's one thing the Jaguars are going to have to do a way better job at, just watching that possession, is the offense, not letting offensive rebounds there in that zone. They got to find someone to put a body on and push someone out of there. And that's going to be a foul on the reach in on the stunt double team there. That's going to go on Tyler Stanwyck. That'll be his first. Stanwyck, a junior for this Eden Valley team, as Gavin Campson and Will Van Beck check out for the Jaguars, as senior Easton Hagen and Caden Piper check back in. Caden Piper steps into a 3. That's good. Nothing but net from the junior. He's got 9. And the lead is back to 4. Jaguars go back into a man-to-man here. Geislinger swings it over to Stanwyck. Neiman trying to get it down to Stanwyck there off the little roll there, but just threw it out of bounds. So just some light full court pressure trying to stop the fast breaks, but Jaguars really like to fast break a lot more off a miss. They like to get that outlet pass and push it up the court. Caden Piper with Geislinger riding him. Easton Hagen cuts in there, and that's going to be a travel there. So another turnover for the Jaguars. Landon Neiman over to Geislinger. Geislinger's got a big lane to work with, and then they're going to get a foul, a late foul after the shot. And that's going to go on Easton Hagen. Geislinger ripped past Easton Hagen right away initially and had just a clear open look to the hoop, and the help side defense for the Jaguars was not there. As Geislinger puts that up and in. No good off the back of the rim. Luke Dingman corrals a rebound. Will Van Beck checked in for Easton Hagen, and he'll run the offense for the Jaguars again. Caden Piper's up top. Gets a screen from Dingman, clears up a little space, little floater, no good. Flies in. Luke Dingman did a good job. Caden Piper almost had it. Ends up pinballing around and ends up, and then he didn't establish himself back, so it's going to be a turnover there. Kind of an inadvertent turnover there, as he could have just held onto the ball for a couple seconds. He had no one up on him, but just trying to get the ball back to Neiman. Luke Dingman up top, over to Van Beck. Ashton Dingman down low, turns and fires and puts that in. Ashton's second bucket of the night. And it's a 5-point lead for the Jaguars. Back in this 2-3 zone. And almost stolen away. Luke Dingman then fouls, just reaching down too much. He's frustrated with himself, but it's good defense, and the ball's right there, and it looks so tempting, but he's just got to stay up, straight up. He was almost forced to turn over by himself, but now he commits a foul. The sophomore guard, Landon Neiman, goes to the line to shoot 2. No good, as Luke will check out, and Gavin Campson will come back in here. And the second attempt, no good at the line. Ashton Dingman's swing pass over to Gannon Walsh. Drives in. Almost threw it away. Will Van Beck grabs that. As the Jaguars will reset in the offense here. Ashton Dingman, just a nice pull-up jumper there. He's got a smooth shot. You can't give him that much room, and there wasn't much room to give there. So he's just got to, if he's hot, Eden Valley's really got to stay on him with all they've got. Almost a travel there, no call, as DeZingle tried, kind of did a hop step there, as we're going to get a timeout here with 6:23 left to go. Timeout Eden Valley. Jaguars lead it 23-18. So we're back here at the Belgrade Bruton Rosa Elementary Gym. Jaguars lead it by 5, 23-18, with just under 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Caden Piper with 9, Will Van Beck with 6, along with Ashton Dingman 6, makes up the majority of the Jaguars' points. Stomes now checking back in and blocks Gavin Campson there. One big block to go along with his 8 points, leading the way for Eden Valley. Murley up top to Neiman, got the Jaguars jumping, and with that shot fake and puts it in. Will Van Beck all the way in, a lot of contact, no call, and here come the Eagles. Good move there. Stomes now got it down low, kicks it back out for the 3, no good, off the hands of Parker Schultz, and Will Van Beck had it go off his back and half the leg there, and just trying to follow Gavin Campson there. Now they're going to have a little thing, but that was definitely off Gavin Campson's foot. So I think they're discussing that the wasn't technically all the way across. You have to have 3 points or something, but either way, that's the call, and they're going to stick with it. So the Jaguars have got to get the ball back here. Their defense has kind of been shaky a little bit, allowing Eden Valley to get some good looks, getting it down low to Stomes. A herd of Jaguars go around, and that just opens up Stomes. If he's going to stay that content with being able to pass it out and passing it out to Neiman there, Caden Neiman, he puts that 3 in, and we're a tie ball game here at 23. Ashton Dingman pull up, no good. Rebound goes to Neiman. Now another three in that same corner, no good. Gavin Campson with the board. And the Jaguars will slow it down here as the Eagles beat them back on the defensive end. That's definitely something you can tell that they were told to do, is beat the Jaguars down the court when they're going in the transition defense. Caden Piper way off on the three at the top of the key, and Stomes grabs another board. And a high shot there. Wyatt Murley almost put that in. That was exactly what you got to do. Pull up there, and Ashton Dingman is a little flat-footed. It's almost going for a charge there. Will Van Beck reverse layup, no good. And that's going to be a foul on Gannon Walsh. That's going to be his first. Geislinger and Haig back in. Geislinger getting pestered by Will Van Beck, almost caused another turnover. Will's doing it all here for the Jaguars tonight. It's got 6 points and a bunch of steals there. Stones couldn't get that one to go. Block from behind again, and just too big. They just gotta box him out there. He's got 3 opportunities. He's not doing too much. He's not pushing. He's just going right at it. So Stones will go to the line. That's going to be the second foul on Ashton Dingman and the 7th team foul here in the first half. So the Eagles will be in the bonus the rest of this first half. Stones has a chance of going into double figures here with this free throw. And that he does. 2-point lead now for the Eden Valley Watkins Eagles. And the Jaguars have been cold. Good defense there from Neiman up top on Will Van Beck. Caden Piper now swings it back, gets it to Campson out to Walsh. Walsh tries firing it in there. That's stolen by Haig. Good defense there by the Jaguars to halt that fast break. Great ball movement from Eden Valley. Almost a three-pointer. It was a pretty good look from Haig, but just couldn't sink it. But that was a great ball movement against that zone. Caden Piper now going in. Gives it up to Gavin Campson nicely. Good backdoor cut there from Campson. He does that a lot. He's got some good cuts, and his guys find him. We're going to get a timeout called here by the Jaguars. It's going to be a full timeout with under 3 to go. We're all knotted up at 25. We'll be back after this. We're back here all knotted up at 25. Just under 3 minutes to go here. Eden Valley will take the ball. Jaguars now in the man-to-man. Gavin Campson now guarding Stones with Dingman having 2 fouls. He's going to need a lot of help there. Stones just working his way through, and it's going to be a travel. Yeah, his back pivot foot was moving a lot. Gavin Campson just bodying up, and that's exactly what you got to do. Good job there by Gavin Campson. Listed at 6 foot flat. He's got an 8-inch. There's a spin move. Gavin Campson again. Wow. Good for him. That's his That's down the court, doing it on both sides. That's exactly what you need from all 5 guys on the court at all given time, and he's really a big advocate for that. Haig with the little floater there. That's good. His first bucket of the night. Ashton Dingman leaves it off. Will Van Beck will reset it here. Murley on him. Will Van Beck turns the corner, fires it over. Gannon Walsh. I think he's only got that one shot attempt, and we'll see if we can get him going. That's a good backdoor cut there, and a good find from Gannon Walsh. And those are those backdoor cuts that I'm talking about. The Jaguars really need to do a better job of using them. They do it so many times throughout the game, but they just never go full force at it, and they really got to do that. They do a good job at it. Here's a little 2-3. Stones is wide open there. We'll see what kind of defense they're in here. Is it more of a 2-3 here again, but Gavin's got his eye on Stones. They get it down. There's that good pass up top for 3. That is one of the weirdest shots I've ever seen go in there. Caden Neiman puts that in. It kind of sat on the back of the hoop on the rim there and just kind of went in. Here's a pull-up jumper. Ashton Dingman, no good. Falls back into the hands of him. Good pass again there by Gavin Campson. He swings it out. He was going to fall out of bounds, trying to get up top. Stolen by Eden Valley. Carson Geislinger comes, and that's going to be it was a travel or it went out on him. So fast pace here, but not much going in. But Parker Schultz checks back into the game for the Eagles. 44 seconds to go here. We'll see what the Jaguars elect to do. Definitely got to look for a good shot here. Gannon Walsh. That's the look you would usually take, but with this, you got to make sure you're going to take a good shot here, and the Jaguars are looking to get a set play here now. Under 15 now. Schultz comes up to guard Will Van Beck. And that should have been a travel there. Gets it down, Campson. That's a foul on Stones. That's a good job on the Jaguars of being patient there, but all of that could have been nothing if Will Van Beck would have been called there. So they really gotta put the pedal to the metal and be aggressive here. As Gavin Campson will go to the line to shoot 2. No good off the back of the rim. As that is Noah Stones' first foul, team's 4th. Jaguars sat at that 7 for the last 4 minutes of this half. Dingman and Gannon Walsh check out just in case they pick up another foul. They don't want to do that. 3 seconds here. Fire out. That looks good and rimmed out. That looked real good off the hand, but couldn't get it to go. Parker Schultz, as that is how we end the first half. All knotted up at 30. We'll see what the second half brings after halftime. We'll be back after halftime. We are back here at the Belgrade Bruton El Rosa Elementary Gym. Our score here 30-30, all tied up against Eden Valley, with the Jaguars holding a 5-point lead most of the game and then kind of letting it slip. Score update from Belgrade, where the Jaguar girls are taking on Paynesville. Their halftime is just about to begin. They are leading at 19-16 at half. Luke Dingman gets the lob pass there. Speaking of Paynesville, we got to give a little shout out to a couple guys watching the stream up in Fargo. Spence Evans and Kane Spanier, shout out to you guys. And hope you enjoy the rest of the second half. It should be a good one. As the Jaguars on the defensive end get a little stop here, as it'll be inbounding DeZingle. I believe that's DeZingle. Yeah, had good positioning down there and just didn't get to him. Stomes gets past that one out to Hag, and that's a big block from Luke Dingman. Looks like the same starting lineups for each team here. Jaguars pretty balanced in the scoring column. Zingle over to Hag, gets it down to Stomes. And that's looked like a travel there. No call, got the miss, and the rebound goes to Dingman. As the Jaguars will set up on the offensive end. Ashton Dingman for three. That one's way off the mark. And the Eagles have it here now. We'll see what they can do against this Jaguars zone. And the little floater, Hag. That's going to be a charge as Luke Dingman set up nicely in front of that little arc in the lane there to take the charge on Alex Hag, the senior guard. That'll be his second foul and the first team foul to open up the second half for the Eagles. Gannon Walsh gets it down to the cutting Luke Dingman, out to Will Van Beck for three. That would have been big, no good. And he races down as he sets up for a charge, and that's exactly what you got to do. The rule is there for a reason, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. It's a charge, but wasn't much contact there, but he set up it and did everything he was supposed to do. Will Van Beck is one of the better guys I've seen take a charge in high school basketball. He has just so much control over his body to be able to stop on a dime. Caden Piper now driving. No good, grabs his own rebound though, and puts it up and in. Caden Piper moves into double digits with 11 on that bucket, and the lead is up to 4. Geislinger over to Neiman. Goes straight through. Avoids all the contact, but the Jaguars do a good job of walling up there and causing a little bit of a wild shot and grab the rebound. Piper drives all the way in. Going up against Stomes. Stomes doing a good job of just staying walled up there and not letting anything go in. Geislinger gets it down. Stomes working on Dingman. Has that fly out of his hands. It's going to stay with the Eagles as Caden Piper tips that one out. Gavin Campson will check in for Luke Dingman here. Gavin played a pretty solid first half, 5 points, and did a lot of good things on both sides of the ball for the Jaguars. Neiman working on, that's a good pass there by Neiman to the cutting to Zingle. Couldn't get it to go though, and Ashton Dingman leads the way. Gannon Walsh, that's his shot. I don't know why he's not pulling that one, as that one was tipped, and that's going to be a body blocking foul there, and he is frustrated there. That's going to be Gannon's second foul. Carson Geislinger working on Gannon Walsh. Over to Neiman. Down low nicely, a finish and one. Wyatt Murley, the 6'3" freshman for the Eagles, puts that one in with the contact. It's going to go on Gavin Campson. That'll be his first. Team second here of the half. As Gannon checks out and Easton Hagen checks back in for him. Baseball pass down to Easton Hagen, or should I say, well, I'm calling it baseball, but football pass too for Ashton Dingman. Haven't seen him play football in a while, so that's why I say baseball, but that's pretty good quarterback too. It's unfortunate we didn't get to see him these last couple seasons, but it's good to see him on the basketball court lighting it up. As that shot from Geislinger, no good. Stomes fights for positioning there, and he puts that up and in. He's got 12. Easton Hagen now, he's got it. Skip past Will Van Beck, beats Neiman there, and Stomes with the block there on the drive from Will Van Beck. Jaguars do a good job on the defensive end, transition, and no offensive transition buckets. That's one thing their defense really does, beat a lot of other teams down the court. Gavin Campson does a good job of bodying it up. Caden Piper blocked out or tipped that one away and goes all the way down for the bucket. He's got 13 and the lead back to pushed up to 4 for the Jaguars. Murley now just powering his way, and that's going to call a timeout there, but Gavin Campson did a good job. Murley just turned and put it off the glass, so timeout Eden Valley, and they're within 2, 38-36, 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the second half. We're back here at the Belgrade Bruton Rosa Elementary Gym. Jaguars leading the Eagles by 2 points, 38-36. Jaguars came out in a little press break show just to figured that off that timeout Eden Valley would come out in a press. They'd elect not to. Caden Piper up top gets a screen. Luke Dingman. Stomes is out guarding him. We'll see if they take advantage of that. Ashton Dingman flies in for a shot, no good. Luke Dingman, he's tall, but he plays like a guard too, so if Stomes is guarding him, we'll see if the Jaguars try bringing Stomes out a little bit, and they're going to get a reach and foul called on Will Van Beck. Landon Neiman went through a little gauntlet there with a couple of pretty solid on-ball defenders of the Jaguars up in his grill, and he held his own pretty well. Screen there from Murley. Allows Neiman to go in. No good. Grabs his own rebound. Puts it up again. No good. And Caden Piper grabs the board. Easton Hagen gets it up top to Piper. Piper flying in. And he got pushed there from the back. I think they got Neiman. Yes, they did. Caden Neiman, the junior for this Eagles team, with the foul. Stones and Landon Neiman check out. Gannon Walsh back in. Caden Piper, that baseline drive, he puts that up and in. He does a good job managing, controlling his body on that baseline, and with that bucket, he's got 15 points. Schultz for 3, no good. Piper grabs a rebound. And that pass, Will Van Beck, there's so many questions with that kick ball. I mean, it went off of the one guy's leg and it then went off of Will Van Beck's leg, but I always was told that it has to be like an intentional kick ball. I mean, if you're dribbling up the court and you lose on your foot, it goes out of bounds. It's not a kick ball. Nonetheless, it goes the Eagles' way, or to their ball possession, and we'll see if they can do something. Will Van Beck pokes that one out and on the floor again, and now it's going to be a foul on 2 shots. I don't know who they're calling there. Tanner Shelton fell, and the ref is telling him he has to move out of the way there. And now they're going to switch. It's on the ground, yes. Tanner Shelton was trying to get an explanation of how he fouled a shooting foul, and their other refs convened and ultimately determined it was not a shooting foul. Haig working on Piper, pull-up jumper. That's good. That's a good-looking shot there. Calm and controlled, a nice little pull-up. Luke Dingman now working to the post. Will Van Beck skip pass over to Walsh. He drives now in. And there's that left-handed layup from Gannon Walsh. We'll see if that can get him going a little bit, a little more comfortable. Will Van Beck tips that one. Ashton Dingman checks now back in for the Jaguars, in for Piper. He'll get a nice deserved break here. Schultz into the Zingle, back out to Schultz, and kind of ran into his own guy there. Tanner Shelton now out guarding Haig. Neiman into Murley. Out to Neiman, thought about 3. Now Schultz will drive and gets that blocked by Tanner Shelton. And the Jaguars will slow it down here. Luke Dingman gets it up to Will Van Beck. Back over to Dingman. He goes all the way through, no good. Ashton's there. Couldn't get that to go. And now it's DeZingle in the corner with Murley now outside. Neiman gets it over to DeZingle. Step through shot, no good. Ashton Dingman with the rebound. Immediately he always turns and looks to go for that long ball pass. He likes to push the court up, and Eden Valley's doing a good job. Will Van Beck for 3, steps into that, no good. The flying Luke Dingman puts that in and up and in on the putback, and he's got 6. Haig in the corner, then goes to DeZingle, no good on the 3. Ashton and Luke, the brothers, looking at each other, wondering who's going to go grab that rebound. Tanner looking for somewhere to go. Someone's got to come get the ball. Gannon Walsh gets it down low to Luke. Luke gets it up top, and Will Van Beck will reset. Good job on the defensive end here, Eden Valley. Just keeping guys in front of them, and now we're going to get a offensive foul on. It's going to go on Gannon Walsh. They said a pushing foul there, little shove there. That's going to be Gannon's 3rd foul. Geislinger now back in along with Stomes. And that's going to go the opposite way. That's went out on Tyler Stanwyck. And we're going to get a timeout here called by the Jaguars, leading by 6 with 8:39 left to go. We'll be back after this. We're back here at the Belgrade Brittenell Rosa Elementary Gym. Jaguars by 6, 48-38 over the visiting Eden Valley Watkins Eagles. Coming out of the timeout, good play there, good backdoor cut. Everything went right, but Stomes with the block from behind. Haig for 3 now, quick release, no good. Neiman gets the rebound, offensive rebound, no good. Now Stomes comes down with it, and he puts that in. He's got 14. Piper up top to Dingman. Campson's now got it. Campson. Dingman for 3, and he puts that in. Again, just a quick release with not much room to breathe there, but Ashton doesn't need much, and he puts that in. He pushes himself into double digits with 11. And the lead is 7. Geislinger driving, looking for somewhere to go, gets it down to Stomes. Just steps through nicely, and the ball still tipping around. Neiman's got it in the corner, gets it up top, Haig. And the Jaguars recover for a second. Haig with an open 3, that one's no good. Again, just a no boxing out there. Everyone's got to get a body on. Will Van Beck pushes that one out of Carson Geislinger's hands on the drive, and we'll get a reset here. Luke Dingman checks in along with Parker Schultz, and he comes in for Tyler Stanwyck, the junior. Shot goes up, you got to box out. You got to find someone to box out if there's no one by you on the defensive end for the Jaguars, and this zone is even more pivotal that you're boxing out. That one's stripped by Caden Piper. He comes down. Schultz is with him. He puts that in. 17 points now for Caden Piper. Pushes the lead to 9. And that shot, that three-pointer from Haig is blocked by Luke Dingman. And the Jaguars have a chance to push this to double digits. Luke Dingman thought about 3 there, gets it over to his brother on the baseline. Ashton sets up for 3, and that's good. And he's fired up. Ashton's got 14. And they're going to get Caden Piper with a loose ball foul. That's what the whistle was. And that'll be his second foul, but now we're going to get a timeout called by Eden Valley with the lead extended to 12. Eden Valley calls a timeout. We'll be back after this. coming out of the timeout called by Eden Valley. We'll see what they have drawn up on the offensive end. Jaguars on a little bit of a run here. A lot of their buckets in this run have came from the defense of the Jaguars, kind of just poking the ball away and causing turnovers and transition buckets that the Jaguars do all too well. Geislinger gets it to the middle, now nowhere to go, out to Hag. Jaguars now come out in this man-to-man. Murley's got it down low, and that's tipped away, and that should be the kicking foul if they, or the violation if they called it before, and a little bit of a push-off extended arm called earlier and not now, but that's a good job of Parker Schultz to stay with that play and knock down that shot. Gavin Campson with the ball now in the skip pass. He'll get it back up as the Eagles come out in a little bit of a zone of their own, 3-2. And Chris Anderson will call a timeout to talk about how they're going to deal with this different defense that the Eagles are showing to them. 10-point lead. We'll be back after this break. We're back here. Looked like Ashton Dingman might have had a little bit of a bloody nose, but Thomas, the trainer, was there to give him the little wrestling treatment. On the topic of wrestling, the Jaguar wrestling team will host on Thursday night the Section 5A. I believe it's like the quarterfinals, I believe. They'll be wrestling the winner of Benson and Bold. Ashton Dingman, 3 in the corner, and he is hot. Pushed Gannon Walsh to his back and put that in. He's got 17 now. He's exploded in the second half, and that's exactly what you need. Almost a steal there by Gannon Walsh, and now a steal by Ashton Dingman. And the Jags will pull it up a little bit. But the Jaguars, #1 seed, looking to defend their Section 5 crown. We'll see if they can do that here on Thursday and push to the Final Four, which would be on Saturday in Benson. And the Jaguars are now rolling offensively. Caden Piper puts that bucket in. He's got 19. We'll see if we can get an update from the girls. That's going to be a foul as Luke came down on the head. And Stomes will go to the line. Stomes puts that in, and Eden Valley now a little bit of a pressure showing, and Jaguars break that without a problem. Kind of just an extended man-to-man. They're not really doing too much anymore. Ashton Dingman open 3. Can't get that to go, but if you're Eden Valley, that's a sigh of relief. He's been hot. Stomes now. Luke Dingman did a good job staying up and down, but got lucky Stomes didn't, when he got him up with that shot fake, that he didn't push into him a little bit. He could have had an offensive or a defensive foul there. Gannon Walsh, that 3 in and out, that would have been a big boost there. That's a good shot, though. You like Gannon Walsh being confident with his shot, and that's exactly what you got to be. Haig up top. That's a deep 3, steps into it. No good. Ashton Dingman grabs the board. DeZingle thought about applying pressure, and they'll just fall off here. Landon Neiman falls off on Will Van Beck. Gannon Walsh swings it over to Dingman. Luke Dingman gets it to Will Van Beck in the corner. Ashton Dingman does a nice drive through. That's exactly what I was talking about when Stones is guarding Luke Dingman up top, and now he's got on Ashton. Ashton's quick with it, and he knows how to make drives too. He's just not a post player or a spot up three-point shooter. He can do both of them good and well, but he can definitely drive the ball and get to the rack when he wants to too. Couple of subs here for Eden Valley. Update from Bruton. BBE girls now lead the Painesville Bulldogs by a score of 44-32 with 8 minutes left to go in that game. So we'll see if the Jaguars can close out. That's a very big conference game for them to stay in the hunt here, or stay in the hunt in the girls section, with BBE in the boys leading it with an 8-1 record in the conference. Painesville and Eden Valley are tied at second with a 7-3 mark. And Kimball sits at fourth with a 6-3 record in the conference. So a lot can still happen. Jaguars do control their own destiny, and a win tonight would only help that. Ashton Dingman goes right up, can't finish. This didn't bring it down, and now he's got a chance to reset. Ashton frustrated with himself there, but he's putting in the work there, and that's exactly what you got to do. Luke Dingman then drives on Stones, rips through, and on that drive, it's going to be a foul. That foul goes on Nolan Geislinger. That's his first foul, team's fourth of this half. There's Luke going against Stones, and that's a good drive. It's exactly what I was talking about. Stones picks up. That's just a second foul. He's played a very good game to go along with his 19 points. He's played very good defense, had a few blocks, but he definitely controls his body well in the post, and he showed that as Gavin Campson checks in for Gannon Walsh. And Luke will have another one at the line. And that he does. Stones up top, gets it to Haig. Now Neiman working, hands it off Geislinger, swings over Haig in the corner. That's no good. Stones grabs the board, and that's going to be a foul on Luke Dingman from the back. That's going to be his fourth. As Stones will go to the line to shoot two. And no good at the line is Stones. And Gannon Walsh does check back in for Luke as he's got the 4 fouls. Just a minute 38 left to go in the game, but still a lot of room to put together a comeback for Eden Valley. I mean, they've had some good looks on the outside, just haven't been hitting them. That's no good. And Caden Piper now going against Nolan Geislinger. Full court press a little bit. Here comes the double team. And the Jaguars break that with Will Van Beck getting the ball, swinging it over Gannon Walsh. Eden Valley wanted a foul, and they kind of begged for a foul there as the ref didn't call it and let some extra time slip off. Landon Neiman ends up picking up the foul, the 6th team foul. As Jaguars lucky to have that one stay with them. First time the Eagles have applied a little bit more of a ball pressure. Gannon Walsh just swings it over to Caden Piper, and Parker Schultz comes up and fouls Caden Piper, and he'll go to the line now to shoot. the 1-1. Piper puts that one in. He'll get another one. As Easton Hagen, the senior, checks in for Gannon Walsh. And he puts that one in, 2 for 2. 21 points for Caden Piper. Stones working on Luke Dingman. Just backs him down, puts it up, no good. And the follow-up does go in. And we're going to get a timeout called by Eden Valley. Under a minute to play. Jaguars holding on to a 62-49 lead. We'll be back after this. Jaguars ball, under a minute to play here. 13-point lead at 62-49. Showing this pressure. Jaguars break it nicely. And now we'll get the foul there. And Ashton Dingman will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. That's the 8th team foul. And the second personal on Caden Neiman. As Ashton puts that one in. He's got himself a 20-point game with a chance to add to it here. And he can't convert on that one. And here come the Eagles trying to claw back into this. They got to go quick. There's Will Van Beck. He doesn't let up. Gets the steal, and then got the time. He called for a timeout. The ref pointed and said he gave it to him, and then didn't give it to him. It was kind of quiet in the gym. I think everyone heard Will say timeout, but nonetheless, the ball goes back. Parker Schultz tried going in between and Ashton Dingman's leg. That three way up tile, no good. Stone's no good after the Schultz miss, and they're going to be a foul as Luke Dingman grabs that board. Luke Dingman strong on that rebound and was going up against, but a few Eagles just couldn't put that ball in the hoop. Had a good look to do it. As Ashton Dingman will check out along with Gannon Walsh. Ashton played a whale of a game. He finished with 20. Piper's sitting at 21 along with Stones is 20, and Luke finds his own miss, and the Jaguars will pass it around here, and with 20 seconds to go, we'll see if the Eagles decide to foul or not. Will just controls it here, gets it over to Piper. So the Jaguars will only hold that one loss and avenge the loss that they previously had earlier in the year to Eden Valley. As the time ticks down here, it ends up being a 63-49 win for the Jaguars, moving them to 18-3 overall with a 9-1 mark in the conference, and that pushes Eden Valley down into a sole third place with a 7-4 mark. So we'll see here. We're going to get, I believe, Gavin Campson up here to do an interview. So hang on to your hats. That's about to be a fun one here. So we'll be back after this with senior Gavin Campson. We're back here at the Belgrade Bruton Rosa Gymnasium. The Jaguars just took down Eden Valley Watkins 63-49. I'm joined by senior, I don't know what you're listed on, a forward in the
1 through
book.
5.
Yep, exactly, with Gavin Campson here. Gavin, what's it like coming on your home court and beating Eden Valley after losing to them in Eden Valley earlier this year?
Yeah, I know we knew the game was going to be tough. They're very well coached. They play really well together. They're actually a very young team, so they're going to be really exciting in the future. But I mean, we got it done tonight. I mean, I haven't beat Eden Valley while I've been on varsity for the past 4 years, so it definitely felt good to get one.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what you guys should have been planning on coming in and holding down your home court. I don't know if you've lost maybe one game on your home court or 2 games.
2 games, Osakis and NLS.
Yeah, and those games were right there too. But you guys definitely know how to play on your home court.
For sure.
And you play a big role on this team. You know, you're not the star player, but we've seen you on the defensive and offensive side. Just kind of talk about your role on this team.
Yeah, I kind of do whatever coach tells me to do. I mean, I'm very satisfied with my role. I mean, I don't think we have really any selfish players on the team. So, I mean, we play really well together. We're all happy with each other. I mean, it makes for a winning team, I guess, as we've been doing all season.
Yeah, and I mean, all season you talked about, but now we got to start looking forward. I mean, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here with playoffs looking to looming ahead, and just kind of talk about what's your guys' kind of mindset right now. I mean, you guys have been playing really good basketball. Yeah,
we have been playing very well. We got Royalton on Thursday, I believe. I mean, we got 5 more games left, and then we start our second journey of the season. I mean, we're 0-0. Everyone's 0-0 when playoffs start. Can't overlook anyone. We got to come into every single game going for the throat right away.
Exactly.
No, we can't take anyone lightly in playoffs.
Exactly. Exactly. We've seen it before and that's what you guys got to keep playing like you have been playing, and there should be good things going for you guys.
For sure.
Thank you, and good luck the rest of the season, Gavin.
Appreciate it.